Welcome to the Mixing Mondays podcast, man. It's just me, myself, and I right now. So let's spark up and let's get this shit going. My goal with these podcasts is just going to be kind of a free flow of whatever's on my mind for that week. But today, we're going to be talking about if I were to get started in 2024 as a musician. And I'm not going to lie, if you're just trying to get into music, it is an expensive fucking hobby. So if you want to get started in it, you got to find the right reasons to get started. Whether it is you're trying to make money out of it, you're trying to just have fun, you're trying to vibe with the homies, so on and so forth. You got to have a solid reason in order for you to get in the game in the first place. My reasoning behind it is I just love doing it. It's fun to me. It was just, I like being creative and doing crazy shit to the beat or just doing crazy shit to the vocals. And then next thing you know, other people are like,
oh shit, let me get that too.
So as an artist, you probably got to do all this fucking extra shit where now you got to
try to sell verses and try to sell merchandise and all this other shit
in order for you to actually build yourself up as a brand in order if you want to live out this shit. But if I was to first start off as an artist, my plan would honestly do things for as cheap as possible at the beginning. So the way that I started was I picked up a cheap interface. It was a Focusrite and then a cheap microphone, which is my Shure PGA 1A1.
And I wrote a whole blog post about this. You guys can check it in the description if you want.
If you want to get started for as cheap as possible without buying studio time, then you're going to need to learn how to do this shit yourself. And the way that I learned how to do this shit myself was I learned the absolute fucking basics. So I would just learn the simple how to set up a record track. After I started recording my own tracks, then I wondered,
okay, like what can I do to the vocals, you know? Like
personally, hearing myself back for the first time when I first started, it was really fucking awkward. I wanted any way possible to throw on effects or how to shape my vocals to the point where it didn't even sound like me, or even just like with EQs, how sweeping out a little bit more low end could give me a certain tone, or boosting the high end can give me a certain tone. If you're getting started and you want to be as cheap as possible, you don't want to pay for no studio time, and you really want to learn how to record and learn how to EQ, learn how to use reverb and delays. The reason why you should save as much money as possible as an artist is because everything is so expensive down the line. For one, you gotta fucking think about what distributor you want to use, whether it's DistroKid, I think there's like United Masters and all this shit. But all of them have like a yearly fee, which is not too bad. If you're paying for studio time, that can get ridiculous. You could pay anywhere from $50 an hour to $100 an hour. You could find somebody to do it for you for cheap. But if I'm being real with you, if someone's offering you $10 an hour to record, they're either ass or they need experience. And honestly, use your own personal judgment when it comes to somebody doing that. Shit, bro. Pick up a camera yourself, set up the fucking iPhone in crazy ass angles and just get absolutely creative with it if you're trying to do shit for cheap. But if you're paying for studio time and you're paying for a videographer, you're probably going to be spending around anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per song. And that sounds really fucking crazy. The goal though is you got to really create content consistently because the algorithms are designed for people to sit on the platform and watch hours on end content. So if you're an artist and you really want to evolve and start building up your network and start getting your songs played, then you're going to need to be on the platforms as consistently as possible. And this is the hardest part. This is the part where I see a lot of people fucking fail.
If you're not uploading monthly, do not expect yourself to somehow magically blow up because the days of that happening are no longer here.
If I really want to make music my career and take it a step up from having fun to now I'm a fucking brand, then you're gonna need to think of it like that. I would, like I said, recommend filming short little reels with your iPhone snippets, but make sure that it's quality. You don't want no blurry, overly saturated video. You want it to be pleasing to watch. So that goes hand in hand where you need to, for one, make a dope fucking song by choosing the right engineer or engineering it correctly yourself and picking the right beats and hitting the right notes and everything. It has to come in quality and it has to come in consistently. Over time as an artist, you will build up your following. You will build up slowly but surely a niche group of audience that actually fucks with your song. And then once you got that, then you could
start branching off into, okay, now I'm gonna sell some shirts, or I'm gonna sell, you know what I'm saying?
Anything else, any other type of merchandise. As an artist, your money is going to be coming from merchandise, brand deals. Streams is probably a small portion of the pie, if I'm being honest with you. So your goal is to try to build up your engagement. because your engagement is going to be leveraged to, one, these other managements that have bigger artists under their belt. 2, other brands that might want you as a model in their ad. 3, you could be selling features. And then from there, the rest is really history. Get as creative, hone in your craft, and really perfect it to how you want it.
Artists who sit on albums.
I understand making a project is such a huge body of work and it may get hella hype around it, but when you're an artist that's first starting out, or if you don't really have a huge following like that, these albums are actually going to kill your engagement because you're waiting half a year to put out one piece of work and then go on another hiatus for another half a year or a year to then put out another piece of work. So as time goes by, these listeners might be listening to your album thinking like, oh, okay, this album's really fucking good. But then after you don't really drop and you're not really posting anything, all these listeners that you have gained they're gonna kind of forget about you within those months. Quantity is important, but quantity is even more important. Yeah, so this is something else other than the mix breakdowns all the time. Expect these every Mondays. You're going to be seeing the first one on Tuesday because I fucked up and I didn't record this shit earlier. Thank y'all for watching. Follow me on Instagram. You can find the podcast on Spotify. If you don't want to mix, hit me up. Thank y'all. Subscribe. I might do some crazy shit for my 1K subscribers. I'm almost halfway there. It's pretty crazy. I know that's not a lot to a lot of people, but for me, bro, that's like a full gymnasium or some shit. Peace out. And yeah, catch you on the next one.